Hello again, beautiful people. Welcome back. It is March, which means that February is done and dusted. So that brings me to the second installment of my month in review series. If you watched my previous video, or one of my previous videos, I talked about how I am attempting to do this month overview, month at a glance, a type of spread. And I got this idea from a YouTube creator named Kelsey, and I believe her YouTube channel is called My Abiding Journey or My Abiding Life. It's one or the other. But she essentially does this thing every month where she dedicates one spread in her journal where she just kind of like recaps all of the important things that happened that month. You know, it can be holidays, vacations, social events that she went to, experiences, new food, movies, books, podcasts, TV shows, just kind of like everything encapsulated on one spread. So I tried this last month and it was rough. It was rough for me. This style of journaling is not really my thing. Usually my monthly overview pages are just a photo a day. So yeah, last month it was difficult to try and like figure out how to arrange everything and then have enough space to kind of like briefly journal about it. So I took my own advice, and for the month of February, I printed my photos on a smaller scale, and that helped me so much because a lot happened in the month of February. I don't really, I don't want to say like go out, because I do go out and do a lot of things, but I don't really devote or spend a lot of time with other people. I'm a bit of an introvert, so I thrive at home. But for the month of February, I was very, very busy. I think every week I hung out with somebody. So we did a going away party at my husband's office. We hosted a board game night. We went to a birthday lunch. We went to a faux Super Bowl party called a Superb Owl party, which is really funny. So yeah, we were just like super busy socially for this month of February. And then of course you also had Valentine's Day, and my husband and I, like, we went out for dinner and we just kind of like hung out at home afterwards. It was it was nice. And so yeah, that was kind of like what took up a lot of my time. The other thing that I devoted a majority of my time for this month was the new Harry Potter game that got released. So I think it's called Harry Potter Legacy. I grew up in the 90s, so like when I was in elementary and middle school, that was peak Harry Potter fandom. It really just rose in popularity. Like, you know, obviously the movies weren't a thing yet, but it was everywhere. And I was obsessed with Harry Potter. Like, I had a Harry Potter backpack that I bedazzled. I had Harry Potter notebook. I had a Harry Potter decorative plate that you were supposed to be able to eat off of, but I never did because I didn't want to ruin it. I had Harry Potter stickers, Harry Potter bumper stickers, Harry Potter plush toys. I had Harry Potter board games. Like, when I tell you I loved Harry Potter, like, it's underselling it, because I legitimately, like, Harry Potter was a significant part of my identity when I was younger. And I just have, like, so many wonderful memories of staying up late at night, just trying to finish, like, these books in the series. I remember there were quite a few times where my dad, who usually would get out of work around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, he would drive the 45 minutes to the nearest bookstore to wait in line to get the newest release of the Harry Potter book for me. And made Harry Potter that much more special for me because it became something that, between me and my dad, and it was just his way of supporting and fostering that hobby and that love of mine. So Harry Potter is very, very important to me. So when the game came out, I of course got it, and oh man, that game is so much fun. It is open world. There's so many different side quests and just things you can explore. Then there's the main quest and, the ways you can customize your character and learn the spells and explore Hogwarts and Hogsmeade. And it's just so fun. I recommend you check it out if you haven't already. And, so Harry Potter, I think I played like 40 hours that month. I was super into the game in February. The other thing that was taking up some of my time, but not really, was polymer clay. So I have been in a bit of a creative funk these last few months. I haven't really been I haven't really been feeling that urge to pick up my journal. And so I needed some kind of creative outlet. And I didn't want to force myself to sit and journal because I don't ever want to do that. I want journaling to be like a joy. I want it to be a happy place for me. And if I have to force myself to do that, it's not that. So I decided to try other creative outlets. And one of those was polymer clay. I think I saw a video on someone making like recycled beads out of cardboard, and I spent like an hour doing it. And then I remembered that I had some really cheap polymer clay that I got at like an Action here, which is like a dollar store, like a Dollar General here. So yeah, I started making these Sacred Heart eyeball polymer clay charms. In my last video, or my journal update video, you can see the red one. I think I show both actually, for my main journal. Yeah, I had so much fun making them. Definitely, there is a learning curve with polymer clay. I'm gonna continue playing around with it, but boy, I made some mistakes. But yeah, so it's something I want to continue working with, and maybe possibly in the future when I go back to the States, maybe opening up an Etsy store and selling them as journal charms. It's really complicated to do that here in Germany, and I don't want to have to deal with all that. So I'll have to wait until I get back home. So yeah, polymer clay, and then I also made some Valentine's Day themed postcards / journaling cards that I mailed out to people, and some happy mail. And so yeah, those are just things that I was doing to try and jumpstart that creative spark. I feel like once I get started with something, it makes me want to do more and more. So that's what those two little projects were for me. And yeah, so that pretty much was it. Harry Potter, social, butterfly, polymer clay, all that good stuff. The only other thing that I did this month was my husband and I found, actually, two things. So the first, I just glued that photo of a cat. So there was a holiday that happened in February called Fasching. I think it's also called Carnival, or it's one or the other. I mean, I hope it is called Fasching because that's what I put in my journal. But it's a German holiday. I don't 100% know the cultural significance of it, so I'm not even going to attempt to explain what the meaning behind it. But it was a pleasant surprise. So my town had this really big parade that went through the whole entire town, with just like people in costumes, people dancing, singing, like little floats, and a parade. It was like a huge parade, and they were just throwing out candy to kids, and there were kids in costumes too. It was just really, really, really fun to experience. I think the coolest part of that was there was a group of people that were dressed like witches. Like they had these really elaborate wooden masks with these wooden claw grabber things. And so as they were walking down the street, they were reaching for kids with these claws and handing out candy. I admired the dedication. It was very impressive. So yeah, that was Fasching that happened. And the other thing was it was a good month for anime merch. So I'm probably have mentioned it. I think I've for sure mentioned it before because I've talked about how Zenitsu is my favorite character from Demon Slayer. But yeah, I love anime. It's something that I grew up with. You know, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. I grew up with anime, and that's something that's kind of stuck with me. So, yeah, my husband and I, we have these huge shelves in our house just dedicated to like anime merch and like figures and Funko Pops and huge figures and small figures and box sets of anime. Like, that's just the whole 9 yards. It's very nerdy in my house. So this month was a good month for that because we found a couple of really large and really cool anime stores that are semi-close to us. So we picked up some new figures. I actually won a Gojo figure from the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. I won it in like a raffle thing at one of the comic book stores. Last month I won a Naruto figure that's like worth $300, which is awesome. And yeah, so I won the Gojo one and my husband won a Midoriya one from My Hero Academia. Yeah, super fun. Just overall, really, really enjoyed the month of February. But alright guys, nearing the end of the video, so I will leave you here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Y'all have a good one. Bye!